Hey guys, this is HD and welcome! I'm here to bring you guys the next set of games from Assembly Winter ROG. This was a tournament that was played out in Finland and was just completed a week ago, and the results, the replays were published, and so I'm bringing you guys all the games from the round of 8 onwards. I just casted Stefano versus Elfie, which was the first set in the round of 8, which was a great ZVP. Hope you guys have checked it out already, and now we're going to go on to game, or set number 2 I should say, and it's going to be a mirror matchup. We've got EG.Puma all the way out from Korea here, and as I said before, there was going to be some Koreans in this tournament. It wasn't a European only exclusive, so we do have EG.Puma in the top left hand corner of Shakur's Plateau. He's boasting the red color today, and his opponent is going to be d.Select, representing both North America and Korea, because he is a Korean North American, or Korean American I guess would be the proper term. So it is going to be a TVT here, and I haven't casted a TVT in a long while, so I'm very excited to be able to bring you guys a mirror matchup from the Terran side of things. Also, as you guys know, I've been bringing you all the racial statistics, and no different today. I'm going to show you guys that Puma actually boasting a 70% win rate in Terran versus Terran. That's extremely good. That's a very high win rate. That's not a lot of times you're going to see a lot of players getting that high up there, unless you're like top tier Code S caliber players, which Puma really is. His opponent Select, also known to be one of the leading players in North America, alongside say Idra of course, and all the top North Americans. Basically Select is one of the tops. He's always been considered top 5, and he boasts a 59 to 60% win rate against Terran as well. So it's a pretty good win rate on his side. Maybe not as good as Puma's, but nevertheless we should be in store for a good matchup. And of course the racial statistics for this map don't really matter because it is a mirror matchup. So yeah, that's that, and let's see what happens here. This is the first game out of set number 2, and as you guys all know, it can go all the way to the third game. It is a single elimination tournament, and the prize pool is $20,000. So strap yourselves in, and we're about to see what happens. Puma coming in here to Select's base with his scouting SCV, and Select here playing for 20 grand is going to go ahead and throw down an supply depot again, actually going for the quick factory here off of one barracks and only mining off of one gas right now. Now that SCV that made its way inside, his sole purpose was to come in there and check on the gas intake, and then he can kind of get a beat as to what's going on. He did not see the factory though in the bottom right hand corner, but I would imagine Puma being Puma, you know, he scouted one gas, he scouted one barracks, he should know that a factory is coming up. There really isn't anything else that would come up at this timing, and certainly he didn't see anything unusual by that mark. So there is a factory coming out for Select. He's going to try to go most likely into air. He could also potentially go into a fast mech build of some sort. Puma right now getting a command center down on the low ground, so he's going to try to expand. There's a lot of different ways to play StarCraft 2, obviously. You can expand to try to out macro your opponent, get more SCVs, and win through an economic means. Or you can try to tech up, which is what Select seems to be doing, and he's going to go for more of a technology advanced route as he's getting his starport down, but he's not mining the second gas here, and since he's got a reactor on the barracks and no add-on on the factory as of yet, I would imagine what the starport is going to be for here is a Marine Hellion drop. He's going to try to get as many Marines as he possibly can get out of this barracks, get as many Hellions as he can get out of the factory, not waste time dilly-dwaddling around with add-on switching or anything like that. Going to be as efficient as possible, get that medevac out, and then drop the opponent's base. So that's his plan here. And the nice thing here is if you're going to go for this kind of a drop strategy, which is a tech advanced route, you can take advantage of your opponent who expands like this, because now you've got 2 potential locations to attack. So look for Select to really utilize that. Here comes that medevac on the way right now from that starport. A couple of Hellions also going to utilize the ground rather than hop inside the medivac, and they're going to make their way across the map right now. There is no Xel'Naga control from Puma, which is kind of interesting. Even in TVT, Xel'Naga control is extremely important, but at the same time, I guess the Hellions are just really good at controlling towers, so there's really nothing that Puma can do about that right now. In fact, he's just now getting his own starport up, realizing that he's going to need some kind of a Viking control to get rid of the medevacs, and now building a bunker inside the main as well. How intelligent is that? Realizing that you know, there's a lot of potential drop strategy that could be used here against his fast expansion, and he's just got all of his forces ready to go. He realizes a drop is coming. It's almost like he smells it, but unfortunately, his spider senses are tingling just in the wrong location. There's not gonna be a drop on the right. Rather, it looks like the drop is gonna come from the southern end, but the medevac unloaded its cargo, which is kind of interesting. I'm not too sure what Select is trying to do right now. He should try to at least drop the natural. There's no defenses here at all. Of course, Select doesn't know that yet, but now he's going to get in here with the medevac. 8 Marines in total. Going to unload down behind the natural expansion, and that is 8 Marines backed up by 4 Hellions. The 4 Hellions are also going to get elevated in, and Puma, sniffing the drop was coming through the main, sniffed wrong, and now he's going to lose a ton of SCVs. Select has got to micro the Marines behind the Hellions. He does just that, just helping to mitigate the damage, and now each player has a medevac apiece, but it looks like Select really has done a lot of damage to the economy. In total, 12 Harvesters killed, and that is a successful drop by Select. But guys, you have to understand as well that Select expanded so much later that he's got to do damage to get back in this game, essentially, or to stay on par with Puma. And now his Marines are going to get shredded up. The medevac also goes down as well. So I think Puma, they're taking a huge advantage because maybe Select was just being a little bit too greedy with that drop. I definitely felt like after he killed off the 12 SCVs here, it would have been a good time to pull away. He didn't need to commit anymore. He was on similar terms with Puma, but the overcommitment there, I think, kind of cost him. His Marines were exhausted from the battle, and he just kind of pushed him to the brink of fainting, essentially, and the Marines just died. So Select here overextending himself, and now Puma is going to go ahead and try to take advantage through the skies and do a counter drop. 8 Marines ready to go here. They should have stim, I believe. Maybe, perhaps not, actually. I'm not too sure. I don't think Puma really ever researched him because he went right for the command center and then a factory. But we're about to find out whether or not he has it. I don't think he does, and no, he doesn't. So he has no Marine upgrades. He's going to drop behind the natural, and of course, without stim, the SCVs can run away. They're not going to take that much damage. Marines can't really catch up to the SCVs, and now Select can come back here, but he could lose his tech lab, and that is really going to help out a lot. Now, both Marines from both sides are not going to have stim, so he balances out the terms of the infantry with a very nice strike there against that tech lab in the back corner. So good job by Puma. And look at this, he's not committing, not overextending, just staying in the background. And on this map, Shakura's Plateau, look at how much real estate you've got in the skies. You could just hang out back here and then come in when you feel like it and do all the damage you need to do. So nice play by Puma. And now we have Select moving out with a couple of tanks, trying to mechanize his forces a little bit, which will bolster his army and, of course, help him deal with the infantry. Puma, in the meantime, is going for an all-mech build with cloaked Banshees. Very, very nice. A mech with Blue Flame Hellions. So this is, you guys all know TBT can have a lot of different strategies. It's the most dynamic mirror matchup, so it doesn't surprise me to see varied forces coming from both sides here. And we'll just have to see who has the better micro when the two armies collide. I feel like Select was originally going for a more bio-enhanced army, and he's still going to try to rock the bio. You guys can see he's got the tech lab researching right now. Puma's got other plans, so he wants to destroy that tech lab, but unable to do so, and Select cleans up that medevac drop. Very well done there. He really needs to get that stim pack and the combat shield enhancements on the Marines if he's going to rock the more bio-eccentric army. He's got 5 barracks now, all pumping Marines, and only 2 factories. So he's going to have a much larger Marine force. But that upgrade, those upgrades, the combat shields and the stim packs are not done yet, and they won't be done for another minute or so. Puma, meanwhile, gets his factories revealed by the incoming Comsat Center, and revealing the mass mechanized force is that. Blue Flame Hellions, of course, pretty effective against Marines, no doubt. And there's a Marine that just got roasted, unfortunately, behind the bushes. And Puma's Blue Flame Hellion tank composition is going to be pretty effective, I feel like, against the Marines. Given that, though, as long as Select gets combat shields and has plenty of medevacs and good micro, he can dodge the Blue Flame railgun and try to mitigate that damage, similar to dodging Baneling shots. Now, we do have a Banshee coming in here from Puma, finally making use of that cloak, but a missile turret inside the mineral field for Select, protecting Select's investments. and of course protecting his chances of getting a shot at that 20K prize pool here for the Assembly Winter ROG tournament. And at this point in the game, I feel like both players are very, very even now. It's tough to call who's ahead. Of course, that tank count, the larger and larger it gets, the more momentum kind of swings towards Puma's favor, because tanks get exponentially more and more harder to stop, or more and more strong. So it's going to be, I feel like, an uphill battle for Select unless he can make an attack of some sort happen. And I think he realizes that, and he's going to start to move out right now. Not maxed out on the army, but feels like he has the mobility to strike the Terran, and he may be feeling a little bit of pressure too, because he knows that tank army is starting to build up. A couple of Hellions coming inside though, and wow, Puma, how did he get those Hellions in there? Completely bypassing Select's front door and going to roast up a bunch of SCVs. Wow. 20 SCVs killed total for Select, but 24 for Puma. So Puma really getting back in the economy game here, and that's another kind of battle that goes on in the background in StarCraft 2. You've got the main battle with the flashes and the explosions and the blood and the gore and the death, but then you've got the economic battle going on in the background, which is actually the most important battle of all. And to top it off, you've also got a psychological battle too. So a lot of different things going on in these players and in this game. Now Puma is moving out with his tank army. He's sieging up everything though. Don't get inside the blast radius, Select. Oh, he just barely skirting the edge there, but losing a ton of his forces now, and the Cloaked Banshee's really coming in the prime, just going to be able to take out tank after tank. Love how Puma's also got a barracks and a Raven. The barracks really just being added support for the vision on the tanks, and even dropping a PDD too, very cute, which is of course going to help against some Marauders. And any help you can get is definitely worth it. Now, that army from Puma, though, is just really, really devastating. Look at that tank depth line. It's literally almost half a screen deep right now, and I'm not too sure how Select is going to be able to stop this. Those Blue Flame Hellions are hungry for Marines here, and the Marines are all clumped up. These Marines could all go down so quickly, and the Marines are getting roasted. The infantry is getting burned alive. And I don't know what Select can do at this point. He's trying to fall back into more tank cover, but unfortunately just unable to keep up with Puma. And that tank count really is what Puma has going for him right now. And all of a sudden, the defensive tank force becomes the offensive tank force, completely chokeholding and barricading Select into his own base. And now this is going to be the last hurrah, it looks like, if he pulls off all of his SCVs, which for a moment there looked like he would. I don't know. I guess there's a slight shot in hell if he could pull this off. He's gonna need to maybe drop the Thor on top of the tank army. That would be really, really cute. And it looks like he's gonna do that. Oh my god, there's really not that much of a backup force here for Puma, but the medevacs are under attack. The Thor gets dropped down, it takes all the damage, and that's just not gonna happen. So that didn't work out too well for Select, and he calls a GG. So trying to count on his tanks friendly firing, on the enemy tanks friendly firing themselves, but it didn't really play out the way he wanted it to. And so that is game 1 going to EG's Puma. Congratulations, and one step closer to going into the round of 4, which is of course the semi-finals. Bringing you guys the next match here in this quarterfinals. It will be game 2 between EG, Puma, and Select coming up next on my YouTube channel. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and this is HD signing out.